What's going on, guys? Aaron from Top Tier Gaming here, and today I'm doing an updated deck profile for Live Twin or Evil Twin. Yeah, the ban list didn't really affect this deck directly. However, so many things changed with the list that this list is built differently than how it was in past formats, because obviously now we have 3 skill drain to, contend with, and Evil Twin has always had sort of an issue against many floodgates. I mean, I guess a lot of decks do, but Evil Twin, it feels very pronounced. And as well as Scythe seeming to be just a huge part of this meta, we're running like a lot of meta calls for the format. And this is sort of the best deck to do something like that, because Evil Twin is known to have just so many flex spots, so many different options you can do with the deck. And that is one of my favorite things about this deck, is its engine is so good even though it's so small, and you get to run as many good cards as you want essentially, and it's very, very powerful. Today we ended up playing for this very cool Evil Twin mat, and I unfortunately did not win it. I ended up losing one game, and I went 4-1 today, which is a respectable record, but not good enough to win the mat. However, the mat was raffled off, and my good friend Ashton actually got it, and he gave it to me because he said he was going to, and he actually did, and I was, super thankful to my friend Ashton, because this mat is absolutely awesome, and I wanted it pretty bad. So yeah, shout out to Ashton, and without further ado, let's get into this Evil Twin deck profile. So before we hop into the monsters here, I do want to shout out our Discord down below. If hanging out with the Yu-Gi-Oh community is something that sounds interesting to you, maybe you want to play Master Duel with friends, or just talk about Yu-Gi-Oh with other people, Discord link down below. And also, if you do like Evil Twins or Live Twins, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, it really helps out what we do on the channel. And without further ado, we'll start with the monsters. We're going to start off with the 3 Kiss a Kill and the 1 Frost. So a lot of people are on 2 Frost. I have nothing against 2 Frost, it's just I've had many bad hands where I really don't want to see an additional Frost, and I've always had the 1 be fine, so I'm not on 2 Frost yet, but it's something I could try in the future. 1 Frost has worked wonders for me. And we are also on the 3 Lila and the 1 Treat. Now, 1 Treat is very standard across the board because she's definitely just like less good than Frost is overall, because Frost gets you an additional draw, which is very helpful because this deck can turbo out some draws into some really good hand traps really quickly. And this is essentially your whole engine for your main deck. You're running 4 Kiss-a-Kills and 4 Lilas, and they just cycle into each other so you can make your links in the extra deck. And we are main decking one of the Evil Twins Kiss-a-Kill and Lila. She is sort of a brick when you draw her, but you do have ways to put her back in deck if she's that detrimental, but you just absolutely need this card in your deck for Trouble Sunny. There's so many times that like your opponent does a play to break your twin board because it's not super oppressive, and they can end with something like a Zeus or a Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, or just some problematic card for your turn, and you're able to start your turn with Trouble Sunny sending this to out the threat and then go through your twin play again. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and I do think this card is just a very, very mandatory one of in the list, even though it is just the brick. And that's going to be it for Evil Twin monsters, but everyone knows, like, if you're an Evil Twin player, you know that the real threat of Evil Twins are just the sheer amount of flex spots and hand traps you get to play. That can help stop your opponent's plays. And the reason we play so many hand traps is partly due to Kiss-a-Kill's effect to draw, because if you draw on your opponent's turn and you draw a hand trap, it's just an additional interrupt that is going to help stop your opponent's plays, and it can happen multiple times a game, and it's just really good. So we're going to start with the 3 Ash Blossom. I think this is, very standard. Everyone's on 3 Ash, it's just staple. You definitely want to be playing 3 of this if you're running as many hand traps as this deck is. 3 Effect Veiler. So Effect Veiler is really good, especially in combination with other hand traps like Nibiru. Veiler is just really, really good for the format at stopping Verte Anaconda. Verte is something we definitely want to stop because it gets them into Scythe. So one way to stop Scythe, you have cards that directly stop them, like Forbidden Droplet, Chalice, cards like that, but Veiler, can stop Verte from making DPE, which can then stop them from Scythe. We're running a lot of cards solely here to make sure Scythe doesn't resolve, because our deck cannot function under that card, so the list is running a lot of cards to out it, and Veiler is one of them. We are also running 3 Infinite Impermanence, so this card's interesting. I don't normally run a lot of it in Evil Twin, because if you draw this off Kiss-a-Kill on your opponent's turn, it doesn't actually do anything because you control cards. However, this was sort of like Chalice's. I was playing a Chalice over this, and, Imperm's just straight up better than Chalice in 9 out of 10 situations, so definitely this card is going to be better than Chalice, and you won't be able to activate Chalice if you drew it off Kiss-a-Kill either. So Imperm is definitely the slot here. So we have 6 spot negates, which is very good for cards like Verte, and of course they combo off very well with a card like Nibiru, which, speaking of Nibiru, we are on 3 Nibiru. Now in my past lists, I was not an advocate of this card at all. It was usually only in here as a cross-out designator target if I was going to run cross-out designator at all, and that is for the simple reason that Nibiru can actually stop your plays, right? If you summon Nibiru on your opponent's turn, you can't normal summon a twin and activate its effect because the twins need no monsters on your side of the field to activate. So Nibiru was able to stop your plays despite it being so good. However, the format is kind of demanding it because Nibiru is a card that can stop their full combo getting to Scythe. But also, Nibiru is so good if you happen to draw it with a Trouble Sunny set up, because you can like Trouble Sunny Chainlink 1, Nibiru Chainlink 2, blow their whole board, and summon both of your twins. It's absolutely disgusting. And like drawing into Nibiru off of Kiss a Kill is again gross, or even worse, if you draw it off of like Frost while you have Trouble Sunny, oh, it's so disgusting. It's such a good card. And as long as you open 2 ways to a twin, even if you Nibiru, you can still make a play. So there is a small risk you're taking when running a card like 3 Nibiru, but this card is absolutely phenomenal versus like Prank Kids, Virtual World, and Phantom Knight, which all got a huge buff with the Brave cards. So yeah, with Brave, you essentially need 2 cards to stop Scythe from coming out, and you know, Nibiru is just definitely a very good one. And next up, a hand trap that I think is by far one of the best hand traps this format. It is triple DD Crow. I absolutely love this card today. This was just one of the best cards in my deck, period. This card is so good. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. It's not once per turn. It hits so many things this format. First of all, it hits, you know, Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. It hits Scythe. So it's very good against the, like, degenerate Scythe combos going around this format. It is also amazing versus Eldritch. Like, if you banish all of their Eldritch, they're just done, right? But even, you know, not banishing all of them, hitting them on an important Eldritch effect to summon, or hitting one of their traps if they're, like, slow rolling into their engine is very, very good. And Crow also hits things like Qinglong, Miscellaneousaurus. I just found it to be absolutely phenomenal. I think this card is one of the best hand traps, period, this format, in the limited testing we've had in the format, but I think this card is amazing, and I definitely, you know, was glad I ran 3 today. Alright, that's going to be it for monsters and hand traps. On to spells. We are running the 3 Secret Password, the 3 Sunny Snitch, and the 2 Live Twin Home. There was actually 1 Live Twin Home in my previous list, but I just wanted to see more twins. Like, technically you have 13 1-card starters if you're on 1 home. But yeah, honestly, I wanted 1 more in the form of Live Twin Home. It's just so good to have as many twins as possible. And this list is not on Crossout Designator, so I'm relying on the twin engine itself to play through hand traps, because one of the things about Designator, it was really good because you get to play 50 billion flex spots, right? So that was really nice. Designator was almost free. You had everything in your deck. But the deck is already really good at playing through hand traps. So I wanted to take out Designators for cards that are just like actually really solid, go first or second, just always good. Whereas Designator is not always good. It can be very dead at times. But yeah, being able to add another Live Twin Home to play through interrupts was something I definitely wanted. The deck is still, you know, decently weak to hand traps, but the more extenders you have, the better. The fact that like one of your smaller twins can get impermed and you just activate this for one of your extenders, being Frost or Treat, and keep playing is so good. Also, Sunny Snitches looks like one of the best cards in the game. I don't know why they gave it a burn effect that also heals you. It is absolutely ridiculous. I feel like this is everyone's least favorite card in the entire deck when they play against Evil Twin. It's such a pain for the opponent, but it is one of the most busted cards in the deck, I'm telling you. Alright, next up, another cause for the format. We are on 3 Cosmic Cyclone. This deck is absurd because it gets to play so many flex spots like this, but this card is absolutely so good this format. Obviously, Skill Drain is a huge card in Eldritch. Sword Soul, the Blackout, is actually very good versus your deck. Things like Chuche against Virtual World, and obviously, most importantly, the set Scythe. So this is another out to Scythe. We need multiple outs to Scythe in our hands if we want to make sure Scythe doesn't resolve, and Cosmic is one of the best. Being able to main this means we don't have to side it as well, which means we get like 3 more side deck spots, which is amazing. This gives you an out to Mystic Mind, to Floodgates. 3 Cosmic is just a must this format, I feel like. And what this means is we are running 3 Cosmic and 3 DD Crow in the main deck. I don't know where the other Crow went. I've lost an ulti DD Crow. That's pretty tough. Okay, we're running this. All right, Scythe. We're telling Scythe no as much as we can, right? Like this is a lot of main deck Scythe hate. So that's one of the things, you know, I wanted to play this deck because it can have so many cards so good against Scythe. And yeah, Cosmic Cyclone, one of the best flex spots to play in the deck. We are on 2 Forbidden Droplets. This card is absolutely absurd in twins because you can like normal summon a twin, they negate it with something like Chi Shao or Imperm, and you can just send the twin off like to help negate their board, and it specials the opposite twin that you summoned, which still gets you in a full combo because it will activate. So Droplet's always been free in this deck, but also with Scythe as good as it is, we just need more Droplet. If I owned a 3rd Droplet, I would play it. I just don't have a 3rd Droplet right now. But if you have 3, definitely play 3 if you have it in your disposal. And then next up, we have the Double Tactics and the One Called by the Grave. This card is just like so much higher impact than a card like Crossout Designator. Of course, Designator, you know, stops the thing from happening altogether, but Tactics being able to draw 2 or look at your opponent's hand or take a monster is just so good, and it's just such a high impact card. And twins pretty much demand interruptions. Like any hand trap is good against twins except for like Skullmeister and yeah, that's about it. So hand traps are really good versus you, so being able to tactics on almost any interruption from your opponent is very powerful. And of course, Called By is just one of the best cards in the game, so we're definitely going to be playing it. Alright, that's it for the main deck. On to the extra deck, and extra deck is where things get a little weird for twins because there's actually a lot of different things you can do with it, despite it being so like streamlined in your Evil Twin stuff. But yeah, there's some things like everyone plays, and we'll just go sort of through it. The 3 copies of Evil Twin Trouble Sunny. I currently only have 2 Starlights, so apologies about that. We will get the 3rd eventually, but I mean, these things cost a shiny penny, so. But we are on 3 Trouble Sunnies, and yeah, I mean, this card is fantastic. This is the reason the deck exists in its pure form. Previously, you know, before this card came out, we had to run things like the Eldritch Engine, but Trouble Sunny is so bonkers. She has a 3300 massive attack stat, and she gets a pop and a draw, and her send effect is one of the best things about her for sure, so definitely want to maximize 3 of this. It's how we do like more damage, and yeah, she's our boss monster. And then we are on 3 Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill. I mean, this is one of your twins that links into your other twin. Some people play 2 of this, but I've often needed to go into a 3rd. However, we're only on 2 Lilla. And these ratios will make more sense when I get to the rest of the extra deck, because like why 2 of this one, why 3 of this one. If you're not running a certain package, you can run 2 of each, or it doesn't matter which one you play at 3 and which one you play at 2, but there is a reason that we are on this ratio, and I will explain that once we get there. But these are your main twins that do all the heavy lifting. Trouble Sunny is just like a conduit to make sure you can resolve these as much as possible. And on to the package I was talking about. We are on Link Disciple, Link Devotee, and IP Masquerena. So this is definitely a package that is super hard to fit in the deck. The extra deck is so tight, and when you run this package, you are sacrificing quite a bit of versatility, but this package is absolutely bonkers. Link Disciple and Link Devotee not only like fix your hand to put, like, if you open too many engine cards, you can put it back and maybe draw like a hand trap or a cosmic or something really good, as well as get IP Masquerena, which IP on your opponent's turn can do some very dirty things. Now back to the twin ratio we're running with the 3 Kiss-a-Kill over 3 Lilla. If you go through the Link Devotee combo, you actually can't end with Trouble Sunny because you can't summon anything higher than Link 2. So you have to make Kiss-a-Kill as your starting Link, and then you have to make another Kiss-a-Kill, which means you run out of Kiss-a-Kill faster than you run out of Lilla, which is why we are on 3 of her and only 2 Lilla. And we're on 2 Lilla instead of 3 because I really wanted to play this package, because this package can just dominate certain decks. It's so ridiculous when you link for Nightmare Unicorn and get a draw off of it, and then get another draw off your Lilla effect, and you probably could get a draw off Frost, and you get 3 draws on your opponent's turn, plus interrupts. It's just super good. So I personally love the package, but I take it out from time to time to play other things like Unchained Abomination, Nightmare Griffin, but just no space for in this version running that package. And then the only sort of flex spot extra deck monster is Nightmare Unicorn. I really want to run Access Code sometimes because there's times where it can be like very good. But Unicorn is a must when you're running the IP package. It's just so absolutely ridiculous. Also, this art is gorgeous. I absolutely love the alternate art that came out of Maximum Gold. This Nightmare Unicorn is so beautiful. But yeah, you have to be on this. Of course, our extra deck is mostly locked into Fiends, which is why Nightmares make so much sense. And yeah. And the last package in the extra deck is the Centauria, the Downed Magician, and the Zeus. And this package is, again, another 3-card package like the Link Devotee package that just takes up 3 cards. So you get to run twins in like a couple different packages with this version. But yeah, this is just like such a game-winning engine. There's a lot of times where your twins just don't do what you need to do, especially against large boards, and you're able to go into Zeus, just clear the board, and you get 4 material Zeus, which is 2 sends. It's very, very good. The fact that any one twin is 4 material Zeus is so fantastic, and yeah, it's just a power engine you definitely want to be playing. You can run Gachi Gachi in this extra deck as well to make Zeus, but if you're running Gachi Gachi, it's to like save you from cards like Dogmatica Punishment as well. And if you have to detach off Gachi Gachi, you're never getting 4 material Zeus. So I think if you're gonna run Gachi, you don't always have to run the Downer. I think that's up to you and how your testing goes, but I think Centaria is overall a little better, so I'm running it like this. And then briefly, I'll go over the side deck because this deck profile was for, you know, a tournament that did happen today, and I did have a side deck built, so I might as well show it. It's I think it's a very funny side deck because there's just like no monsters in the side deck, and there's so much back row hate. So we are on 3 Twin Twister, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and 1 Red Reboot. These are like the very only against back row decks essentially, or like, I mean, you saw it in stuff like Twin Twister for Prank Kids and like Virtual World as well. But like, this is just a lot of back row hate because twins have so much monster hate in the main deck, right? Like, we're on 3 Imperm, 3 Veiler, 2 Droplets, 3 Nibiru. Like, against back row decks, we have to be able to side cards out. It's not even about siding in, it's about siding out. So we have 5 cards we can side in here. We are also on 3 Evenly Matched, which is good for back row decks and monster decks. It's sort of like the most versatile card in my side deck for that reason, because it's just so good in any matchup. And this card was MVP today. Absolutely fantastic. And yeah, Evenly Matched just dominates. It's so good versus back row and monster decks. And then, I mean, we could also side in 2 Solemn Judgments for back row decks, and we did. So we were able to side out essentially 10 cards against back row and put in 10 cards, which is very, very good. But they do more than just side in against back row. Like, these cards are pretty versatile on their own. And then I ran more go first cards in my side deck than I have run in a long, long time. I was running 7 go first cards, which I usually side 3 or 4. First off, we were on 2 Anti-Spell. All of a sudden, we had a surge of Pendulum players. I wonder why. It's almost like Joker and Astrograph. You know, their ratios were buffed, and Snow is back, which is good in Pendulum, so Anti-Spell was sort of a way to deal with those, as well as be an amazing floodgate for things like Lightning Storm. Raigeki's at 3, and Raigeki's really good versus us, so yeah, Anti-Spell, definitely a very good floodgate. The only floodgate we're actually running side decked. And then we are on 3 Appointer of the Red Lotus and 2 Solemn Judgment. So we're on 7 go first cards. I pretty much decided if I'm going first, I'm going to try to win, because there's times where, like, Game 3, I get to go first, I feel pretty comfortable, and I just don't draw any go first side, and I get sacked by something like a Evenly Matched, and I just didn't have enough go first side. But this is a lot, right? So a pointer I feel like you have to play because of kaijus. 1 kaiju on your Trouble Sunny, it sucks really bad. And I brought this to a tournament like a month ago, and I only lost 1 game, and the game I lost was because I got kaiju twice. And a pointer of the Red Lotus is the only trap card in the game that's stopping a kaiju in this deck, so I felt like 3 Appointer is just a must. Like, kaijus hurt twins so bad, and Appointer can just tell it to get out of here. And then Judgment was both for back row and go first. So yep, that was my side deck. I hope you guys enjoyed. You know, this deck was absolutely a blast to play today, and of course, Evil Twin's one of my favorite decks. I mean, I invested a lot into it because I absolutely love this deck. And yeah, leave a comment down below what you guys are doing with Evil Twin this format, if it's a deck you are like picking up for the first time, or maybe you already play it, and what your experience is so far in this very limited format. I mean, there's some locals that probably aren't even on the new format yet, like our locals is just playing it. So yeah, let me guys know. You guys can let me know what you guys think of the, you know, Evil Twins in the current format. Leave a like, subscribe. This has been Aaron from Top Tier Gaming. Bye, YouTube.